This will be a fun one because I don't think we've ever talked about this. But like when you were a teenager, did you ever play those like teen games at parties?
Like spin the bottle?
Oh man.
7 Minutes in Heaven.
I remember that one.
Never Have I Ever, like stuff. And like when you did play these games in these groups, did it ever like escalate into something like crazy when you were a kid?
I only saw that shit in the movies, dude.
That never happened to you?
Me and Steve are in the same boat.
Never, dude.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done like
Not before college.
Dude, then I heard about, then, you know, I'm like, you know, 2014, I'm hearing about rainbow parties. I'm like, I missed out.
What's a rainbow party?
Happened. That
What's a
can't be
rainbow
real.
party?
I refuse to believe that was a real thing.
Rainbow party is when a bunch of girls wear a bunch of different colors lipsticks and they all take turns sucking your dick and seeing how they can... That's what it's called. And I'm like, I'm missing everything.
That was a sensationalist thing that like parents got the, you know, it was like the eating Tide Pods thing.
Do you
It's like, no one's
remember
really
It's like the Christian Coalition came out and they're like, this is happening.
I remember during that craze, there was a thing about how like girls would wear different bracelets to signify like what base they've been on or what sexual acts they've been on. I remember that was like during, there was all over the news, and like these girls would have like blue bracelets, and that means they gave blowjobs or whatever. And everybody was so mad. Everybody was so mad about it. I remember being the rainbow party shit.
Yeah,
it was the colored theme.
But it's
People
always
loved
the
that.
religious parents and those like religious coalitions, and they come out and like, did you know kids are all doing this now? Because one news story.
This was like when I was a kid. I remember.
But like one news story
like on the
happens and they
news.
go like, this is what all these kids are doing out there.
Right. They just said like all the kids are doing it, and I was like, nobody's.
The sexual craze. It could have been
I
propaganda.
remember doing 7 Minutes in Heaven, but only when we knew that these two people liked each other, but then like they weren't fucking doing anything. So then you just, at a party, just throw them in there because it's funny, and then they end up like getting together.
Yeah.
It's because they probably did something.
But getting together
Probably,
is
but
what,
like-
holding hands and shit, dude. You're so shy and
Like going official.
Like they'll probably, I don't know if they
Not
kissed
you.
or whatever.
Not you though. You probably were.
Yeah, he probably fucked. But I remember
Because I could do it within 7 minutes for sure. Twice.
Too long.
Yeah,
when it got to that point, because everyone's like, dude, why don't they fucking, they like, he just doesn't stop talking about her. He doesn't even fucking go up to her. And then you know that she also likes him back. And she, like, you asked her or whatever, and then they're like, all right, throw him in the fucking closet.
Joe's playing matchmaker, dude. Lock him in there.
Yeah, 7
I
minutes
thought that
only.
was what the rule was for 7 minutes and a half. Maybe we made it up, but we're like, it wasn't just random. It was like, yeah, they're annoying. They fucking like each other, but they're not doing anything. So just throw them in there already.
Good friends.
I remember this is like senior year, and our choir director would have like an end of year choir party with all the like cast at his house, and it was in like Laverne, and he had a pool and a jacuzzi. And like later at the end of the party, like a bunch of guys and girls were in the jacuzzi, and we decided to like skinny dip. With, you know, when the bubbles are up and everything, you're a little more confident to do it. So like everybody took their bathing suits off, like the girls and the guys, but it wasn't like sexy at all because we all just started laughing at how hairy everybody was.
Oh, because it wasn't.
Because you know,
How old are you guys?
This
this is 17. We're like, I'm like 17.
Your pubes look like that.
Yeah, so we're all just like, it's not like you're like shaved at that age, you know what I mean? Like, all we did was just crack up at like, you could see the silhouette of like.
I feel like you had a lot of hair, man. Look at your face, bro. I'm just like,
Jungle Man.
Yeah, I was probably the hairiest one. Yeah. It wasn't like the thing that I expected. I'm like, oh, it's gonna get so like naughty in here. Yeah, no, we just couldn't. A lot of the time.
I remember like, well, in college, like when you do little games, like I was really good at playing like Truth or Dare and escalating at the right time.
Oh, with your boys, yeah.
I think the intention is always the intention is to always escalate things like sexual things in non-sexual ways.
Oh, like what would you do?
Like for example, we
I dare you to feed me that chocolate strawberry right now.
it would be things like I remember we dared this one girl on our team to tape poker chips to her nipples and like play the rest of the game just like shirtless.
What?
So literally for the rest of the game, she's topless, but she's got poker chips taped to her nipples.
That's not.
Where are these parties?
Yeah, bro. I never did any of that stuff.
I mean, yeah, college was pretty crazy.
Like there was another time where, but then the thing is, if you're the person daring people to do certain extremities, then they're trying to get back at you. So you also you gotta also stand up for what you believe in. I remember them making me one time. They were like, all right, well, you got to cartwheel down this hallway butt naked.
What?
So I was doing cartwheels butt naked down the hallway one time.
Oh my!
Did you have a bush?
And then I had to, I probably had a bush. Then I had to up the ante. So, and you know, it's just crazier because you're drunk. And I remember daring this one other girl to be like, all right, well, you gotta get naked and you gotta go pee on that tree outside. And all of us are by like the fucking sliding door, like watching. So nobody can like really see, but it's just the idea that somebody's willing to do this shit was hilarious. We were just crack up over the dumbest thing, but nothing would ever like get sexual. You're just doing things like that and cracking up about it.
That's what I felt like it was. Like you were also too chicken to like, you were still kind of respectful in a way. So like you would just flirt with the idea, but it would never actually fruition, you know, into that, at least at the time.
I remember my friend, like in 4th, 5th grade, he hooked me up and he was like, dude, you should come sleep over at my house. I'm like, why? And he's like, if my neighbor thinks you're handsome, she'll make out with you. And I'm like, no way.
What?
And I'm like, yeah. So then like I'm the neighbor. I take him up on the offer, right? No, she was fucking cute. She was like from Yemen. I don't even know what Yemen was at the time.
From a war-torn country.
Yeah. She's like Middle East. Yeah. At the time, I thought she was Mexican, but I didn't know what Yemen was.
You need citizenship, brother.
She was hella pretty, and then like
she's from
we're all just playing, right? And then she's like, "Hey, you wanna make out with my friend?" And then she looks at me and she goes like, "I'll give him a big kiss on the cheek, but I'm saving making out for my boyfriend."
Oh, that's good.
And I was like, oh, what the fuck? And I was like super like, no, I'm not ready for this shit, right? And then she comes up and she fucking kisses me on the cheek and holds me. I'm like, oh my God, this is what it feels like. Yeah. I think that was like legit one of my first like experiences of like, oh, a hot older woman like wants to fucking kiss me.
And then ever since then, Joe kept mentioning Yemen all the time.
I was like, I want to go to Yemen. Yemen is fucking dope.
He's like, yeah, USA is cool, but Yemen's way chiller.
Was she like 30 years old?
No, she was like maybe 6th grade.
Oh, 6th grade?
So she was older, like, oh fuck, sick, you know?
Wait,
like,
so how old are you? You're like an elementary?
we're like 4th or 5th grade. Yeah.
Damn, pulling 6th grade?
Thanks.
But it was me, my best friend, his sister, it was her brother, and we would
like
all.
30?
He lived in this apartment where the middle was like a grass patch, and we were all just playing, and out of nowhere he was like, yeah, hook my friend up, like, you want to make out with my friend? And then she's like, I'll give him a big kiss on the cheek. And then she's like, yeah, he's cute. And then so after the
Thank God she's in 6th
sleepover-
grade, dude.
Yeah.
I thought she was like a 25-year-old lady. I was like, who is she making out with little 4th graders? That's crazy.
With a Yemen woman?
I want to show you Yemen.
in the laundry room.
Why are you so nervous?
Yeah, from the same chick the next day.
Didn't you lose your virginity to a chick from Burma? No, she was
Brunei.
Yugoslavian.
Don't you have any conflict-free hookups? They're all third-world hookups? Are these all blood diamond blaze?
You know, those don't count.
Where is Yemen? I don't even remember her name. I just remember going like, what? You know, I thought she was Mexican, and she goes, I'm from Yemen. And I'm like, Yemen? What's that?
Do you think her family had claimed asylum? Like that?
I don't know. To me, she looked like a Mexican girl.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell the
we got
difference.
that.
Maybe she.
That's it. That's all I knew.
Maybe she's one of those people that likes to just say a different exotic thing because she doesn't want to be Mexican like everybody on the street.
But who even knows what Yemen is?
At that age, no chance.
Right? I don't even know what the fuck Yemen is. At all.
It's Mexican, man.
Chick from
It's
Morocco
Mexican.
and being like, that's crazy.
What is that?
You know, I was in 4th grade. She's like, I'm from Morocco. I was like, what the fuck is that? You know, I had no idea.
Yemen is directly south of Saudi Arabia.
Where's that?
Mexico.
Hey, dude, we went to public school, brother. We ain't doing all
We
that.
didn't study that side.
She's Middle Eastern.
Yeah. No, she was super like pretty. I was like, wow. I just got like kissed. That's so cool. And then the next day I was like, I want it again.
Did you go find her?
Yeah. That's why I got kissed in the laundry room.
Oh,
She was- yeah,
so
in the
escalated
laundry-
to more.
How did you get kissed in the laundry room? What happened there?
Can I have another kiss? And then she goes, yeah, sure. And then she kissed me on my cheek. Yeah.
Get in the laundry room. This 30-year-old Yemen woman.
And
You can't tell your parents.
it was two.
Tell your fucking parents.
I had 2 simple experiences.
I'm actually Spanish.
Shut the fuck up.
I can make a knife out of anything.
I had 2 like hardcore experiences.
Hardcore experience.
Yeah, that morning my friend's mom made bacon for us. And you know how fucking forbidden that shit is the way we grew up?
That's bad.
Yeah. So I had fucking non-halal both ways, dude.
That's tight.
You know what's funny? That's 10 million times.
Then getting a kiss.
getting a kiss.
Yeah.
We should get halal guys today.
Yeah.
That's bad.
No, dude, because she made bacon and eggs, and I was like, this is forbidden, but my mom's not here, motherfucker, and I'm getting kisses.
So would that have been the first time you tasted bacon?
Wait, why can't you have bacon?
Seventh-day Adventist religion.
We're not supposed to eat pork and like squid and all these other things. And I was in heaven, dude. And I was like, dude, I'm fucking living in.
Did you feel guilty at all?
I was like, I don't know, this is a sin. Everything that was told that was a sin, it felt so good. I'm like, it can't be wrong.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sex before marriage can't be wrong. It's so good.
Bacon. Oh man.
And
Yeah.
God made it in the first place.
Yeah, you can't eat lobster, bacon,
Nope.
shrimp, clams, oysters.
I didn't have shellfish until I was
Catfish.
catfish.
Can't have catfish.
Do you eat lobster now?
No seafood?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
What's the rationale for not
Wait,
eating?
were you Seventh Day too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, I see. Bottom feeders.
What's the rationale for what?
For not eating those
Yeah,
things.
because anything or that eats shit, you can't eat it. Like you can't have it.
And now he eats shit for a living.
Hey, don't keep my passion away from me, dude.
Yeah, that's why you can't. That's why we can't have pig products because
Yeah,
it's like
no
pigs
pig product.
wallow in their filth or whatever. So you just can't have it. Yeah, it was a robbery. Like whole menus just gone.
No carnitas, brother.
No carnitas. I still don't know what carnitas taste like.
Whoa, really?
I just never had 'em.
I do
Still
remember.
don't eat?
No, I do, but like because I didn't have it growing up, it just misses my radar. Like if I see a menu and there's
Yeah, you
like
just wanna order
chorizo
it.
or carnitas, whatever, I just don't know what it is. So I'm not familiar, so I just don't.
Aside from bacon, though, a lot of pork products tasted crazy to me, though.
Yeah.
Because everything was really strong and like, what the fuck is this pork smell?
Eating a lot of things for the first time in your 20s is like I just don't like it because I don't have the taste.
What
Like
about pork belly at Korean barbecue?
I
like it now, yeah.
I don't really like it.
What about chicharron?
Yeah, it's controversial.
Well, we have our own version of it for Filipino stuff, but it's
Lechon.
Lechon is bomb, dude.
What about crispy pata?
But I didn't think
You
that
don't
when
eat
I first had
lechon?
it.
What's lechon?
pork.
It's pork belly with the crispy skin.
Oh, I've had that.
I'm sure it's like it looks good, it seems good, but then the thing is, if there's an alternative, like if there's like crispy duck or whatever, then I would just get that if I wanted that like texture.
I never had chicken katsu till here.
Yeah, I guess you know what's funny is that like with our household, we had to buy Hebrew National. Because it was the only one that was like confirmed to be all beef, and then later on they found out that had pork in it too.
Really?
Always, dude.
Tricked,
Yeah,
yeah.
they got exposed for like
That's
having
funny.
other because it.
We got Farmer John's all beef.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess like saying something is all beef, at least back then, didn't actually mean it had to be all beef.
What?
It just meant that your intention was that you were striving for all beef.
Well, we fucking ate pork then, dude.
Because they always there's like an allowance. There's like a wiggle room for like like Fig Newtons. Like there's a chance you'll be eating bugs.
Oh, true.
So vegans don't eat Fig Newtons.
So you've never had a pulled pork sandwich?
Pulled pork is
Damn, that sounds bomb. Are we hungry?
Bro, we should get pulled pork
I've
sandwich.
also never had a pulled pork sandwich.
Wow.
Pulled pork sandwich is probably one of the better.
That's up there, bro.
If I were to intro someone to pork, I would say pulled pork.
That's safe.
I'm such a beef lover that I just don't get
That's
pork.
a JK adventure right there, taking this guy and just smothering him in pork everything.
But it wasn't until my 30s that I started craving pork.
You started craving it?
Like the way, if
Never
you
had a pork
grew up
rind?
with pork products, I think people sometimes crave different pork items. For me, I didn't care for it until my 30s where I'm like, I want lechon. Well, lechon was like 2 years ago where I'm like, I want lechon every day. Wow. Yeah.
I'll just get arscaldo, the beef.
The beef.
Yeah.
Pork rind.
Pork
Pork
rind.
rind.
Chicharron is
Turtles, dude.
a legit. Chicharron is magical.
Yeah, legit.
I think it'll change your life, dude.
Did you never play Truth or Dare? I feel like you would have been hilarious as a Truth or Dare kid.
I wasn't.
I feel like they would have kicked him out before they started playing it.
Like, this guy's.
Dare you to get out of here.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, done. Cool.
You were never in these situations that we're like thinking of, huh? You never had these like school friend like parties where you never were at parties.
I
I never went to one of those cool parties. Not one.
I would go to these parties, but I was always kind of like on the outside. I wasn't like if the kids were playing that shit, I'd be like, I'm good, and I would just
Like if
I don't
it was-
know why. I just
Like if it was a Diddy party, you're in the front, like
Yeah.
with like the beverages and shit.
yeah. I'm just chilling by the punch bowl, like, oh, they have salsa.
You never even played like Never Have I Ever? Not once?
No, not like where you put your fingers up.
Man,
Yeah.
No.
Here today, then.
played that.
I played it at. Oh, that's pretty good.
That's fucking
I played it at improv houses eventually, but never.
That came later in life. I didn't do that when I was younger. Like,
little slut
when did it come out?
For sure, dude.
Because I would say
I played
that-
until like college.
Yeah,
The
I thought
close-
that game came later. Like I don't
It got
remember.
released in the 2000s.
Yeah, like high school and younger. I don't remember playing that.
It
game.
wasn't training that much as a kid because obviously people have never done anything by then.
Yeah, I heard it was some Yemen woman that created it.
I got a new game. We're all gonna play it.
Laundry room. Get in there, Joseph.
I would imagine if I played Never Have I Ever, I'd be really bad at that too.
I feel like
just never.
I feel like your fingers would start tingling from standing up the whole
Like,
time.
God, I'm so tired, dude. I haven't done that.
All right, we may have to play it, but the goal is to win this game. You know,
Never have I ever kissed my PE teacher.
I've never.
Whoa,
Huh?
Wait, what the fuck?
Huh?
Kissed your
that one.
5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. No, I'm just kidding. No, I never kissed.
You kissed all of them?
No, I never
I was
kissed my
like,
PE teacher.
okay, Nick was kind of cool. My bad.
That was a joke.
Kiss any teachers?
No, I wasn't on the radar. When I was in high school, from freshman to senior, I looked probably like I was 13 most of those years.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't that?
I wasn't
That's what
one of
they
the.
want.
I wasn't one of the. Sometimes I feel like they were looking for like the older looking kids. The
No.
kids that
You
look
think
like they
That's
could
what
be-
teachers want.
Every time you see the news, it's always these hot
I don't
ladies
know,
with
dude.
these young
You're
looking.
thinking of the women. I'm talking about like male teachers are probably glad you look 13.
Yeah, I just think they weren't barking up this alley. I think they just weren't. They're like, this kid is too weird. I don't know. What
You never played 7 Minutes in Heaven with your PE teachers?
No.
I thought that was normal.
No. My none of my coaches.
Got
no,
me.
No.
I'm so cool.
We used to make fun of one of our friends who would he was on the cross country team, and the cross country coach would always just give him massages outside of the like they called the A building. And we'd always be like, dude, why does Coach Blank always give you massages like that? And he'd just be, he'd put his arms on the fucking like the railing, and he'd just be like, yeah, you just gotta make sure you're tight. He was like a star guy. He was like, yeah, you should make sure you gotta loosen up. And we'd always make fun of him about that. And I was like, I don't do that with my coach. My coach is never giving me any back massages.
He's doing that to guys though.
Yeah, he's doing it mostly guys.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I heard there was some funny business when I left. I don't know.
We had a coach at SGA.
Really?
That got let go because he had a sexual thing with a pastor's daughter that was going to school.
Dang.
But he just got rotated to another school.
Dude, 2 teachers in my drama class got caught fucking in the office.
Oh, that's not that bad.
2 teachers.
But it's 2 teachers?
Two teachers?
But they were both cheating on their spouses.
Oofy doofy. Oofy doofy.
Yeah, it was Oofy Doofy.
That's a good TV show. I'd watch that.
Yeah.
We definitely had a guy, older dude, dating one of the high school students, and then he got let go.
We had all our baseball coaches would get in trouble for stuff. So they were like hanging out with,
Baseball coaches?
yeah, they were hanging out with underage ladies.
What the heck, man?
And the volleyball coach was hanging out with underage ladies.
I wonder if that type of thing happens more in like Christian schools or public schools.
Christian schools are horny.
I think it's a roll of the fucking dice,
Yeah,
bro. I think
legit.
it's 50-50 across
But if
the
you think
board.
about most of the it blows my mind though when I'm like, wait, some of my teachers were like 22? And I was like, you're still a fucking kid too.
Yeah, that's true.
You're a kid teaching kids.
Yeah, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
At 22?
Fully developed, brother. I remember that. I tell you that right now.
They're prime.
Yeah, Mr. Thompson was,
When you wear those khakis, Mr. Thompson.